playing the full ranked matches of League of Legends, it's very fun. Don't get me wrong. But like, what if you just don't want to think? What if, that's why I play a lot of ARAMs and TFT, because you don't really need to think that much.
You can just go into ranked.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
Oh, no.
Well, these teammates aren't thinking either.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, no.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the National TEMPUS Radio, your weekly podcast where we talk about everything and nothing at the same time. I'm your host, Regis Altare of HOLOSTARS English, leader of the TEMPUS Guild and local hero of Elysium. And today I'm joined by my friends. You guys want to introduce yourselves top to bottom?
Top to bottom. Who's at the top? I'm at the top. Hey, guys. What's up? It's your favorite Dr. Gladiator, Hitman, Assassin, Axel Sirius here. How are you all doing?
Battle.
Hey, Gavis Battle here, Jester Guild Tempest. Good to see everybody. I hope you're having a day.
Just a day? Not a good day, bad day,
well,
just
that's
a day.
up to them. That's up to them.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I like that. Give the power to the audience.
Shinri.
Konnichiwa, Jasuiji Shinri from HOLOSTARS English Guild Tempest.
You had to think about that,
Good
didn't
to meet
you?
again.
HOLOSTARS
Yeah, it took me a while.
English. Are you sure it's not like Espanol?
It's the secret.
Could be.
The secret language in there.
We're taking over slowly. But welcome to the podcast, everybody. It's been a long time coming. We tried recording with other people and all sorts of things under different names, but this one's going to stick. National TEMPUS Radio. But you guys might be wondering, what is Tempest? Who is Tempest? Anybody want to explain who Tempest is? What we are?
Just a bunch of dudes, honestly.
I mean, it really depends on who you're asking.
Are we like a pizzeria? Or are we like a Italian restaurant? Or are we...
we're going for like the official term here, like the guild, the guild. Yeah, okay, yeah.
The Guild Tempest, just an adventurers guild, and we're not really going to specify if it's a heroes guild, a villains guild, it can be
Criminals
whatever guild you want.
Yeah.
What? Criminals?
Well, from our past doings, I guess, from all these, short videos that we've uploaded, I'm pretty sure you could tell that we are a, criminals guild, but...
I don't know about criminals, man.
I'm a great guy.
Do we really have to put labels on things? Like, why don't we just leave it open, like the guild?
That's true.
That way, it's limitless. It can be anything.
That is
it could be the guild for for friendship bracelets. The guild for I don't know, not sleeping at all.
Oh my god.
I
feel attacked.
Yeah.
Listen, my sleep schedule is pretty bad right now. Like, I think I woke up around 2 a.m. I stayed up until 2 p.m. Slept until 6 o'clock p.m. And then now we're here at 7 p.m.
Wait, you woke up at 2 a.m.?
That was me last week.
Listen.
Oh my god.
Listen, man, don't judge me, okay? What about your sleep schedule? Your sleep schedule can't be much better, can it?
I like to say that I am on call at all hours of the night. It's important guild business. That's why I stay up that late.
On call. Oh, I'm sorry for you, buddy.
What do you mean on call? Does So you're calling someone is not like some difficult English term where you're
ready to be called.
Ready
to, like, if anything comes up, like, I'm available.
Right, I thought you were calling someone for the whole night, and I was like, geez, this guy's crazy. Okay.
He's a social butterfly.
Yeah, I was like, holy fuck.
He's talking to me. He's talking to me all hours of the night.
Only you. Only to Gavis.
Only me. It's very intimate.
This podcast is going to be a weekly podcast. It's going to be released on Monday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Japanese Standard Time. And as the host, Regis Altare, I'll be staying weekly, but the other members that will be joining me might be people. Oh my god, I can't speak. Maybe other members of Tempest or some of our friends who are adjacent and some cool people that we know. So maybe not any guests right now, but maybe in the future, maybe after a couple episodes. So, now that we got that out of the way. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about what the podcast is going to be covering. Why am I so scuff?
Dude, that's what the first one is always meant to be scuff. Like,
embrace
people
it.
People will come back to this and be like, oh man, remember when this was shit?
They'll be watching the first episode, be like, "Oh, they didn't have a sponsor. Ooh, no, oh, no, they're so scuffed and so nervous. And now look at them; they're just talking about fart jokes." And we're gonna do that anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Can't wait till we get sponsored by Manscaped, bro. This sponsor.
Oh,
Oh my
that's
god.
how you know we've made it.
Listen, Axel, I know you've made streams of like POV beating you up. Why don't you just do like a POV shaving myself? Where?
That's true.
You get like a nick, you'd be like, pain, stings. Ooh.
I've only literally shaved myself on the face. I've never shaved myself anywhere else. I'm not even kidding, bro.
anyway.
All right, first topic for today. All right.
This podcast will cover general stuff about VTubing, anime, gaming, and just really general topics. So, maybe we forget about the last topic, and let's start off with something simple. How was your guys' day today? What'd you guys do? Did you guys do anything cool?
I recorded for a podcast.
Oh, ooh, is it the
Whoa.
opposite, like the competition?
No, it's this.
Oh,
It's just this. Yeah, it's just this.
oh, is it the best podcast?
It's the only. So I guess it's the best and the worst because nothing else is really, I haven't done another one. But
Quite
if I
honestly, I'll
did
take
do
that.
another one, I'm sure it's the best.
Yes. Axel, what about you?
I've never done a podcast before as well, but to me, it just feels like, the boys just chatting in a Discord call. So probably, I guess podcasts are fun. I've never listened to a podcast either myself. So.
Wait, you never listened to a podcast before?
No, I don't.
Have any
Yeah,
of you other boys listened to a podcast?
Yeah, I used to listen to lots of podcasts.
I listen to a podcast every single night.
Wait, which one?
Can I name some?
Yeah, you can name them.
There's one called like Welcome to Night Vale. I think Shinru would like it. I think Shinru would do well with that.
I have been listening to it. It's pretty good. I like it.
Is it like a lore kind of thing, or
It's
audio
weird.
drama?
It's weird. It's fictitious. I don't know. It's like
It's like you're listening into like a radio station that takes place in like a fictional world, and you don't really know exactly what's going on other than like the things that the radio host talks about. Like they'll like one of them things they'll mention like, oh, don't go to the dog park. Do not go to the dog park. And they never actually explain why. It just seems really ominous, like something is going on there and I should stay away.
It's so weird.
But like it's a really cool way to like be like tangentially storytelling what's happening in the world by just listening to like this one radio host, because you never actually see what world they're talking about.
You gotta grasp
it's just
that, like,
all like
fragments
stories.
of lore through the radio station, I suppose.
Yeah, it paints a
Yeah.
picture, and it helps. Honestly, it helps me sleep. But I listen to a lot of movie podcasts and stuff like that. So I'm no stranger to the idea.
You're like the pop culture buff.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I don't know if you exactly call it like a podcast, but I do watch like on the Japanese side, I watch a lot of like game live streams, but it's not like VTubers streaming or just streamers streaming. It's like the official channel with like 2 or 3 people talking about the game updates and like what's coming out next month. I like to watch a lot of those for the games I play, and then for the Western side, I actually watch like I said, I don't know if this counts as podcast related stuff, but infographic show, that shit's pretty interesting, gives me bit of insight on news and shit. I guess it's like
News and shit. I mean, that's
yeah,
the
it's like the
fundamentals.
dude who survived underwater for 3 days, and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna need it when I'm drowning and shit.
How does someone survive underwater for 3 days? Are they trapped in some kind of underwater cave, or?
Well, technically, you could say that because it was like a ship that sunk, and then there's like a little pocket that this dude found, and he was sitting in like a little pocket. But then it's cold and shit, right? So like he was like figuring out how to keep himself warm and all that. And then,
Do you know what that kind of reminds me of?
what does it remind
Have you ever
of?
watched Pokemon?
Yeah, I've
Like-
watched
like-
Pokemon, but not every single episode. So
Remember the SS-Anne episode? Where the SS-Anne sinks its big ship?
Fuck.
and then the whole crew is like stuck underwater, and they got to use their water type. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm a big Pokemon fan.
Dude,
I haven't watched that, but I remember there was this episode of what's the huge like whale Pokemon, the whale guy. I don't know his English name, but there's like this really big
Wailord.
It's like the biggest whale Pokemon, I think. He's massive. Bloop, is it? Is his name?
Is it blue in color?
Yeah, it's blue. It's literally a whale.
Okay,
he
probably
starts
Wailord
off as
I think
like
it's Wailord.
probably
he's
Whale Lord, I'd say.
his first form is like this circular, like dumpling looking guy, and then he turns into like a long, like eclair looking guy, but is blue.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Wailord.
Is it Wailord? Yeah. There was like an episode about him, how like I think it was Ash and the dudes went to like an island or some shit, and then there was like this homeless guy or whatever taking care of Wailord or some shit.
Sounds like a typical Pokemon episode right there.
Yeah, it was pretty good, honestly. I think it was like, wait, I don't know, for the English Pokemon, right? Do they have it like separated in gens? Like I think in Japanese it was like just the normal Pokemon, and it was like Pokemon Advanced Generation, and then Pokemon.
That's right, because
like,
you're fluent in Japanese, almost native, right? So
yeah.
You watch most of everything like animated in
Japanese. Yeah, I do.
Oh.
The only show that I watched in English was Breaking Bad, pretty much.
Oh my gosh,
Dude, imagine Japanese like dubbed Breaking Bad. That would be sick.
It's funny, but it's kind of cringe at the same time. I was watching the Skylar White scene. It was like, I'm Skylar White, yo. I was watching that scene in Japanese, and it's funny. It's funny, I'll tell you.
Jesse, Ryori Shinaka.
Yeah, he says some shit like that. I'm not even kidding, bro.
Jesse, we have to cook.
I'm gonna be honest. Walter White doesn't sound like a bad dude in Japanese. In English, he sounds like such a badass, right? Like he's gonna kill you any time of the day. Japanese, he just seems like a salaryman, bro. Walter.
That's kind of the point, Originally, he's just a normal dude, but he just happened to sound like the most evil person on the face of the planet in the original version. So,
Listen, when you're making that kind of stuff and making that kind of money, I feel like you tend to be painted in a bad light. It's not exactly the most ethical occupation.
True. No, that is true. That is really true. Like,
Wait, I have a question about that though. Like, when they have people dubbing the voices, like, are they like well-known voice actors and like actresses? Like the same people who dub like anime and stuff. Like, do they have the same people and like have them dub over like live action?
Yeah, they do. I feel like voice actors are like a huge part in Japan's like society because of how much of anime content they release and stuff. Like, what do you call it? In Japan, they call it drama, but it's not really drama in English. It's more like shows and stuff, right? We call them.
Right.
But yeah, voice actors, they do like take over the role for dubbing and stuff. So,
dude, I heard that becoming a voice actor in Japan's like super, super difficult.
Oh, it is difficult. Like, I'm not too sure if they do this in other parts of the world because I do not know too much. And when I looked into it in North Elysium, there wasn't many schools like that for it. But yeah, in Japan they have like a special school just for voice acting, and then even you graduate from that school, you're not guaranteed a place in like voice acting. So it's really difficult, right? Like you come to like notice with yourself, like, do I really want to do this?
School.
Yeah, so you have to go there, but then even you go there, you're still not guaranteed of getting like a job in the voice acting community because, let's just say for other jobs, right? Like hospitality or engineering or becoming a doctor, whatever. Like all that stuff when you go to like university or college and stuff, when you study it, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a job, right? As long as you work your ass for it, right?
Yeah.
Wait, isn't it?
Maybe several, many, lots of decades, years ago.
Oh, so wait. I'm getting scammed then, because I was told, it's like, oh, as long as you get a degree, you'll pretty much get a job later on in life.
That's
so I was
what
like,
they all
okay.
say. Oh, no.
So I was like,
Yeah, we were all told the same thing, but the reality is like when everyone has a degree, that becomes the new baseline, and then like you need a bit more than that to like stand out.
man, thank fuck I'm in HOLOSTARS, but yeah, dude. I mean, I guess it goes for. I mean, I guess it goes the same for was the same voice acting as well then, but I feel like it's very difficult, like voice acting compared to maybe the other stuff. Maybe not, but the reason why I think that is because like there's only like a hand-picked amount of people that really gets far in the community, right? And here's the thing, like a lot of people, even they do get to like that top tier level of voice acting. Like I don't know, don't call me on this, it's just something I heard, but the pay isn't something that's the best over there, is what I heard. Not too sure if it's true or not, but yeah. And like if the people who are, top tier over there with the voice acting, like what's going to happen to the people who only gets to appear, I don't know, once a year in like animations, or like how do they do it? It's like,
do you think in Japan like voice acting is what to Americans is like YouTuber? Like they want to be a voice actor. Like all the kids in the US, they all want to become YouTubers, and we're lucky enough to be YouTubers. We all stream almost daily. We make content. We make music and all that jazz. But I feel like in Japan it's so widely idolized to be or looked up to be a voice actor. Kind of like how it's like looked up to be a YouTuber now, right?
I definitely do feel like it's got like the same element, those two. But the how should I say this? I feel like voice acting is much more limited compared to what you can do with YouTubing. Like YouTubing, you are like unlimited with what you can do, right?
That's true.
Like,
any type of content.
Maybe not for us because we have perms and shit involved.
Good old laws of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, if you just out of the blue create your own channel, you can pretty much do from 0 to 100. Like as long as you know what you're doing, you can just go ahead.
What do you make a YouTube channel? Just think of it on the spot of some weird random topic. For example, if we made a YouTube channel about the optimal way to peel fruits and vegetables.
So the thing
I would watch
the
that.
thing I'm thinking is like, what hasn't been done yet? At this point, what hasn't been done? Because the thing you just said, I guarantee you already exists.
No, okay. Let's add a little caveat to that then. How about that? Instead of just showing people the proper way to peel vegetables, what if we added a speedrunning timer to it? We tried to open up vegetables and fruits as fast as possible. For example, peeling a banana, 1 finger speedrun.
1 finger.
Oh my god, I'm imagining like awesome games done quick. How they'll talk about like some of the speedrunners, like they'll be playing right, and they'll have like their friend next to them, like explaining, all right, if you use this glitch, you can actually peel the banana 2 seconds faster. Like yes, it's a bit precarious, but like if you can get it pixel perfect and time it just right, you save 3 seconds off the banana peel. Like.
So the reason why the reason why he's not opening the banana from the top from the stem is because you actually need to pinch the bottom of it and peel it all 4 from there. Stuff like that.
I just do reverse ASMR.
What do you mean by that?
Reverse ASMR, like it's like instead of like whispering and stuff, it's you just throwing everything you have on the floor in the kitchen, pots and pans, the loudest possible thing for just like an hour and a half looped.
Bro, I remember there was this I think there still is that channel, but it's called like How to Basic, and this dude just,
god,
that went viral. That's something that went viral. Like back then, it went viral. Everyone's like, haha, funny, this, that. Now everyone's gonna be like, how dare he waste, how dare it's just it's like it changes with time, right? Like what's gonna go viral, what people is gonna like. So it's like
I think it also
it's difficult to find the new wave or the new trend. It's difficult.
It also goes to show of like what was amusing like 10 years ago. You could throw 15 eggs on the ground and boom, you're famous. And nowadays it's like I feel like you got pushed the envelope a bit more because everything's been done already. It's like, yeah, we've seen the egg thing already. What's the next thing? What's the next big thing?
I don't think it's only that, but it's because of how many content creators there are out there right now. Because back then there's like close to none, right? When people were doing stuff like that.
It was all Minecraft, baby.
Yeah, like you could release the most fucking boring content on earth, but people still eat it up. You know, they'll be like, "Aha, this is funny." You know,
just look at me.
Like what? Yeah, like what?
All right.
Fucking hell. No, but like what? When I was in high school, or like this was like, I think the first years of high school, or my last couple of years of primary school. Videos I used to like watching was GTA 4 funny moments and shit.
Oh my
You're one of those watchers.
Bro, I never knew what GTA was in my life, right? And when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell is this realistic ass looking game?
It's a really fun game.
Yeah, no, I've played 5 and stuff, but like when I first saw it when I was like 13 or something, I was like, this game looks super realistic. And I think it was because it was like GTA 4 or 5, either one I saw. And it was like the closest game to being realistic, right? Back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
how you got into
wow.
YouTube?
Not really. What was it called? I used to watch those, like, you guys are going to laugh at me for this probably, but what do you call it? It's like those family show thingies, where like families have fucking like feuds over their relations or whatever. I used to watch this guy called this Steve Wilkos. He's just a bald guy. It's like the Steve Wilkos show. It says American Talk Show. This one. Yeah.
Did they try to fix their relationship with the family, or?
Oh, kind of.
Sounds like a late night show, to be honest.
Is this like a Dr. Phil? It's like a Dr. Phil kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like a Dr. Phil kind of shit.
Okay.
One of those.
Yeah, I used to watch it. There was another guy, I think his name was like Jeffrey or some shit, or Jeff or something. There was another guy, he's like an
Jeff
old
Dunham.
Dude. Is it? I don't know, but it's like, you are the father, you are not the that kind of shit.
Okay,
yeah.
So like produced content,
those.
like produced content.
Yeah, I used to watch
Okay.
those on YouTube. I was like, wow, American people are watching some interesting stuff.
How did you boys get into YouTube? Like, did you watch any gamers? Did you watch like produced show, like a YouTube Red, or? Because the way I got into it, I'll give you guys a little bit of time to think. But listen, I'm that kid that grew up on the internet who watched YouTube, especially like Minecrafters, those kind of Let's Players, like the creatures, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Maybe I have more of a quote-unquote normie way into YouTube, but that's how I grew up with it. I watched people post Let's Plays every single day, like Saints Row the Third with Uber Hacks Nova and Immortal HD, things like that. And I would look forward every single day to be like, oh, what's the next part going to be like? What are they going to do this time? What are they going to do this time? And I like that kind of YouTube content. But I also do like stuff like, a person just goes into the wilderness and builds a cabin, right?
Oh, those are good. Like cooking
those
cooking in the wilderness stuff and all that.
Yeah.
They're really good. I enjoy those. It's like very soothing to watch.
Like going to the ocean, catching a fish, and then cooking it right there.
That's really good. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'd love to try that one of these days. They make it look so easy too, but I know it's gonna be like a disaster to like gut a fish properly, not get the insides all over the meat.
Dude, I think over the hundreds of videos that I watched, if you take me fishing right now, I think I can prepare some fish. I think I can prepare some sashimi.
See, that's your toxic trait. That's my toxic trait too, right? But like, I'll see it and I'll be like, I could probably do that, right? And then you try and it's a disaster.
But I mean, that's part of the fun as well, right? Like realization of like not being able to do it, which is why you come to appreciate it when you watch these videos. Like, wow, these people actually knows what they're. Because like Altare said, if we just went out there, caught a fish, it's like, all right, let's prepare some fucking sushi. We're probably gonna die the next day or some shit, dude. We're gonna get like parasites or something.
I was traumatized when I was younger.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry to start the conversation.
Okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
What a grabbing intro. Anyways, it has something to do with fish. I know, kind of weird, right? But I was with my friends, and we were by this little lake. And I was decently young, around like beginning of high school, maybe middle of high school. And, you know, beautiful lake. Fishing equipment, all that stuff. But my friend's dad was like, please don't touch any of my fishing stuff. Like, it's my precious stuff. I'm like, okay. And then I went to his shed and touched it anyways. But I didn't have the balls to really grab like a big fishing rod or anything. I grabbed a tiny little string, I grabbed a tiny little hook, and I grabbed a little piece of hot dog from the fridge. And you know, I put it next to the pier. I waited for a fish to bite. You know, a couple hours passed. I'm just sitting there chilling with my friend. Big yank! Massive yank! I somehow struggled to grab this huge fish and pull it onto the deck. It's a massive catfish. And granted, this was before I watched any of those like fishing videos on how to prepare them. So I was looking over to my friend. He looked back at me. I was like, what do I do with this? Because like I kind of want to eat it.
Right.
And stupid kids at that age, we didn't know how to kill a fish properly.
What?
Do you like step on this shit? Do you like?
So we tried like cutting its head off. We tried, you know, bonking it really
Did you try
hard.
drowning it?
You know,
just hold it underwater. I'm sorry, this hurts me more than it hurts you.
There all night.
you know, Battle, that's actually something I haven't tried. And I know that sounds like a stupid idea, but has anybody tried drowning a fish?
No.
Anyways,
Can you?
No.
I mean,
You could drown
okay.
a dolphin. Anyway.
Wait, what? That's true. Well, drowning in the sense of humans is drowning them in water so they can't breathe, right?
Yeah.
What if you drown a fish by drowning them in the air? Right? They can't breathe in the air.
here we fucking go. That's
Does that
God.
take away the definition of drown?
What do you want it to be called? Drump or something?
I don't.
It makes sense. Like, it's the parallel, right?
Yeah. Like if you take a fish out of the water, they're not going to be able to breathe the air, the pure oxygen that's going through them. They're going to die. They're going to drown. If you toss, I don't know, Axel into the water, he can't breathe on the water. He's just going to drown. It's the same thing.
so dried. Is that gonna be the term then? Like
Dried?
drying them?
Drying them.
Yo, I just dried this fish.
How long does it
In
take?
my mind, I'm like, I feel bad. Just get a knife, just like
Yeah.
whack off the head real fast.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm pretty sure that like catfish are really, really notoriously hard to kill.
I've
They
never
do
been fishing,
seem-
but
yeah, I've never really tried to kill one or thought about killing a catfish, but
They get huge, man. They get huge. But like me as a kid, we didn't know how to kill it. So like we were trying things. We were like, oh god, this is gonna be stuck in my mind forever. We eventually just like put it in a cooler with some ice. But I still feel really, really bad. Like it was a bloody,
That's-
bloody night.
yeah,
Well,
I
it was
heard, like-
alive.
No, but I heard that's one of the most humane ways to like kill a fish is to put them in ice cold water and
I
then
think it
kill
was
them later.
humane the way I killed it at the end, but not the way that I tried to kill it before that.
Yeah, just
Just
in
abused
short.
it a bit and
Yeah, yeah.
put him in an ice bucket.
Listen, doing all that stuff was not out of malice. It was out of ignorance, okay?
I mean, you're a
That's
kid.
true. That's true.
Yeah. Like, haven't you guys tried making some kind of food without really knowing how to make it?
Yeah, like last
every
week.
single time.
Yeah.
Like, what'd you make, or what'd you try to make?
Dude, I've tried to make so many. I tried to do like this chili pasta thing. I don't know what it was. It was like some recipe my dad told me to do. I'm like, you just mix it together, right? No, it's a shit. I tried making hamburgers once,
How
and
do you mess up a hamburger?
well, that's a good question, isn't it? Well, step one is when you put too much oil on the pan and it becomes an inferno in the kitchen, and like my eyebrows like singed because I like tried flipping it and then like there was like a pool of oil at the bottom and then it's just like it breathes fire at me, and then I overcook
Oh my
it and
God.
it's just a nightmare. I can't cook. It's just something I am incapable of doing.
You're like Sauron forging the rings.
Yeah, I was forging the beef patty to rule them all.
The one beef patty to rule them all.
And it was this blackened puck.
Frodo.
Oh my god.
Do you guys
No.
like your meat like cooked to like absolute well done, or do you guys like it like rare? Like
I'm in the middle. And mine's I like mine like
really?
So it's medium well. It'll be medium well, right? I think.
Ooh,
It's
medium
what's
well.
I
what's
do mine
after
medium
medium
rare.
rare?
Medium
I think
rare
it's-
is what's after medium?
Oh gosh,
Medium
I don't
rare.
I
remember.
think it's is it medium?
I think it's just medium.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
rare,
medium.
Hold on,
medium
hang on.
rare,
Yeah, let me look at
medium.
this.
And then it's
Medium, not medium well,
yeah.
not medium well. Before I get like attacked, medium, medium.
Well, Battle,
Right.
you remind me of like me 6 months ago. So naive to the world, being like, oh, you know, it's meat. I don't want to eat anything that's not fully cooked. But at the same time, like when you open your mind to medium rare, that right there, that's like perfect succulence right there.
I mean, it's okay.
And
Rare is so
then you're gonna
good.
open your mind to rare, man. Oh, let me
Dude,
tell
but-
you, bro.
Rare is too bloody, bro.
Okay. No, like you get like
It's
beef tartare.
good.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
I
I'm
love
talking,
it.
I'm talking like
man.
a fillet, right? Like we don't need to have like a blue steak, okay? I'd have a
Oh.
medium rare fillet, but I like mine medium. Just that, you know.
Here's the thing. It's because you guys only eat boring ass steaks, man. You gotta
Oh, please.
bro.
Burger that
Trust
you
me.
cooked on your cooking stream, that thing is like raw from the pasture. Like you
that
literally
thing's
reached
mooing.
into a cow.
Okay, well, that's
Grab
that's
his
a
meat.
that's a different story, you know. Hey, we
Right,
don't
right,
talk.
right.
I don't remember anything, but dude, there is. I think it's like the eye fillet or something. There's this Japanese dish called beef tataki. I don't know if you guys have ever had it before, but
Beef tataki.
if it's really really nice, and I'd say it's like on the blue side pretty much. It's like it's really really nice.
It's looking that
like-
way.
It is. I think so. I mean, you guys eat pho, right? And it's like
Yeah.
rare beef, right? In it, because it cooks.
It's like it's uncooked. Yeah.
yeah, and then it cooks, but like you would still eat it if it was a bit pink, right? Like you wouldn't mind. It still tastes. I like it personally a bit pinkish. You know, it's like
It would be
not
at the point
fully-
where I'm like, I have the bowl of pho right in front of me. I have the meat in front of me. I pick out the ones that are perfectly cooked, and the raw ones at the end that didn't end up cooking the fullest. I would still eat it, but it would be like, oh, it didn't cook. All right, I don't want to waste food. You know?
bro. I'm
What?
always sitting there trying to eat it before it cooks. I'm always like, "Nah, I gotta eat these meats. It's gonna cook if I don't. So
Yeah, like if you go for a hot pot, like you just gotta like wrap it
Yeah.
around your chopsticks, dip it, like 1, 2, done, and
yeah,
like you're good
it's
to go.
pretty much done.
Oh, I'd overcook that shit. My problem is like the chew. I don't like it being overly chewy.
Ah, okay. So you guys don't like the chewy. It's like the texture as well. That I guess.
I'm a texture guy.
Oh,
That's
okay,
my
that's
issue.
fair,
It's not
that's
about
fair.
flavor or anything. Like it's probably tasty and stuff, but like if it gets chewy or squishy or whatever, then I start freaking out.
Right. On the other hand, I dislike when it's well done or dried. I hate like that biting onto like this dry piece
Yeah,
of meat.
too well done is not.
Yeah,
not
that's
the
bad.
greatest.
That's also bad.
Yeah, especially when it gets like really rubbery. Like oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God,
that's
it's too
really
much.
bad.
Have you guys ever gone to like Korean barbecue or Japanese barbecue or anything where you have to cook the meat in front of you? Mm-hmm. I normally when I go there, I'm normally the one that cooks, but the place I normally go to is like it's well lit, so you can see how cooked the meat is. But sometimes you go to those Korean barbecues and stuff where like the lighting is not the best. So you're scared if you overcook it, you're scared if you undercook it, and I always end up overcooking it. I feel so bad every single time.
Bro, I know, man. Like some places, the lighting, you just don't know. Like if the meat is cooked, I feel like that's the same for hot pot. Sometimes when you order like a spicy broth and like you're cooking it, like and the meat is marinated. It's already brown because it's fucking marinated, right? But the beef is like completely raw. You put it in for about a minute and you pull it out. It looks cooked, and you bite into it, and then it's like still super raw inside. Like, don't get me wrong, I do like, you know, rare meat and stuff, but like only for specific types of meat, not for every single one of them, because obviously some
Oh,
of
you
it's
don't
gonna
want some
get you
raw
sick,
chicken?
right?
Come on, get some raw
Bro.
chicken.
Dude, I'm
Dude, my-
afraid of that.
Bro, yeah, my friend, dude, we went hot pot once, and he's an idiot, bro. I'll just straight up say he's an idiot. But we were eating, and then the pot is full, right? And he couldn't wait, and then he says some dumbass shit, Like, bro, real dudes eat meat like this, and he just picked a raw piece of fucking meat and shoved it in his mouth, and we just like,
no.
we were just watching him, and we were just giggling at him because he's like, yeah, let the tapeworms do the talking for you, bro. And he's just eating busy meat. Man, I still remember that.
I feel like
bro.
that friend is the type of friend that's like, oh, would you jump off the bridge if your friend jumped off the bridge? Yeah, I would be the first one. You know, that kind of bro.
Yeah, dude. He's a good friend. I haven't seen him in a while, but last time I met him, bro, was when we went to his house, right? And the last time before that we met him was we had like a hot pot party at his place, right? And the last time we met him, he still hadn't cleaned up that hot pot from the previous time we met him. And I was left there for 3 months or something, the pot there.
What?
And when we entered his house, like, why the fuck does it smell so sour in your house, bro?
Oh,
bro.
no.
And he's the type of dude who just stays in his room, plays League of Legends, because his family's rich, right? And his father's like a boss of some company, some shit. So like he's just gonna take over, so he doesn't have to do anything. He's just sitting in his room playing League of Legends all day long, right? And he doesn't do it. And man, that day when we went to his house, it was the fucking nastiest. We opened the lid, and it killed us.
Dude.
It's like someone caustic altered us, bro, and we just couldn't move. and then we opened the fridge as well, and then something was like some weird smell came out of the fridge, and it was
moving in there.
It wasn't even moving, bro. It was just milk that was like in a yogurt form because it stayed there so long, bro.
Gross.
Yeah. And then we were like, wait a minute. Last time we came to his place, he was serving us Pepsi from his fridge. And we were like, oh shit. We were like, we never know what this guy could give to us, you know? Because it's like,
Pepsi can't really go bad, right? Because it just gets what do you call it?
It goes flat. Like,
Yeah.
it loses the
Yeah.
carbonation.
But like, let's just say you went to your friend's house, and let's just say you had dinner at his place and all that, but you find out that he's been living like this, and wouldn't that be like, oh shit, he served me this real? Like, wouldn't it kind of hit you, like the realization of?
I would probably not eat there ever again.
Yeah, that's why I haven't met him in about a whole year now. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a really great guy, but like eating at
Like
his
at
place,
that point,
maybe not anymore.
dude. Like when the house smells sour, like that's when you need an intervention. You just could be like, okay, man, like this is not. You can't live like this. Like we gotta help you.
We told him, bro. We were like, bro, this is bad, because the reason why we went to his place was another stupid reason, but like. He called us one night and it was like, yo, can you boys go buy me like 24 cans of Pepsi or some shit? And we were like, he just made us. Yeah, he just wanted us to go do errands for him because he was playing League. So I was and we were like, outside anyway, so we didn't mind. So we were like, okay, how many do you want? This dumbass said, however many you guys want to buy. So what we did was, we filled the whole car with 24 cans of Pepsi. Spent like $200-$300 worth of Pepsi, and we delivered orders, and he had to pay for it straight up. It was just like, he walked out the door, and then he went back inside the house singing that shit. He didn't even say anything. And then we like, hold up, you gotta pay for this shit, man. We delivered it all inside.
He's stocking up for the apocalypse or something.
Yeah. But guess what?
God.
3 months later or something, 3 months to 6 months later, he still called us and was like, yo, can you guys get me more Pepsi? And it was like, wait a minute, we bought you like... We were like,
all of it.
We bought you like 200 cans or something. What happened to that? It's like, oh, I finished it. I was like,
dude, are you friends with like Jabba the Hutt? Like, what the fuck is going on over there?
Bro, I mean, it's North Elysium. We got all kinds of wild shit over here.
Oh my
Boys, are there any drinks or any snacks that you personally would like stack that much of? Like, for example, me, I love sour Skittles. I would have an entire truckload of sour Skittles if I could.
Skittles.
Sea salt and vinegar chips.
You've been talking about that since last week or something, dude.
I have this massive craving for them. Like, here's the thing though, I eat so much of it that like it gouges like the inside of my mouth and my gums start bleeding and everything because like it's like you gotta get the chips that are like got the real good crunch, right? The really tough ones.
Chips, yeah.
Because if they're like flimsy, then that's not good. But like the really tough chips, right? But like that,
good.
like I don't know. I love the pain. It just hurts so good.
That's how you know something's
It's
really,
so
really good.
good.
You know, you eat enough sour Skittles, you eat enough Sour Patch Kids, your tongue is like raw, but you're like, oh, that was so good.
See, yeah, I can't believe you guys said both of those things because both of those fuck you up.
Yeah.
What do you like
Like
eating?
if you eat too much sour stuff, it bleeds, right?
It just gets gross, yeah.
It's the pain I love.
No, that's true though. That's me with spicy stuff. You know, I'm not too much of a sour guy myself, but like when I go to Hot Pot and I go to like a really spicy place like for Hot Pot, it's nice. I can't stack that up obviously, but I would like, you know, even though after the meal my mouth hurts and is burning, I would still go back and have it any time of the day. You know, it's just like
Mood. Completely agree.
yeah. Alright, you battle.
Girl Scout cookies.
Which kind?
Can I just say like all of them? Is that cop out?
Even
Can I
like
pick
cookies.
3? I don't know. I can't decide on like 2 of them because it's like it just depends because there's the tag-alongs, which is like the chocolate and peanut butter one, which was always like oh what?
Listen, I'm just not a big fan of peanut butter. Okay, I'm sorry.
Why is everyone not a big fan of peanut butter? What a peanut I
don't
love
mind
peanut
peanut
butter.
butter.
That I feel that makes that your nose feels. I just don't like it.
Peanut butter's
It does
alright. I
what?
like it. It's got a nice crunch. Peanut butter.
Crunch?
I like the one with like the crunchy bits in it.
You do
I don't
crunchy
know,
peanut
maybe-
butter?
Yeah, we've got crunchy
He
peanut
probably
butter
likes
over
pulp in his
here.
orange juice too.
Yeah, do you like pulp in your orange juice, Axel?
Well, I mean, like there's different types of pulps, right? Like,
Do you
I
like,
like
pulp
the
in
really-
your peanut butter?
Dude,
Why'd you have to say it like that,
probably
Shane?
not.
everything needs to be smooth for me and silky.
right.
You did mention that you were like a texture guy.
I'm all
so, like,
texture.
That is
yeah,
true,
I'm all
right.
texture.
That is true.
What
I
are
love
the
peanut butter.
Girl Scout cookies that are like the mint chocolate ones?
Thin mints are probably the best.
Oh, I love Thin Mints.
They're
I love mint
probably the
chocolate in
best.
general.
It's really good, but then there's that argument of like, mint tastes like toothpaste, which drives me fucking crazy.
Okay, what? You don't like brushing your teeth? Hello?
Yeah, it's like okay, but you know what? Toothpaste tastes like mint. Okay, it's the other way around. First of all, second of all, why are people like grossed out by like toothpaste? What flavor toothpaste are you buying, pal? Are you buying like, you know, fruity, juicy toothpaste? Or I don't know. It's
I
like it's
remember when I was a kid, bro. They had like these Winnie the Pooh like bubblegum flavored like.
not that.
Oh my
Bro,
god.
I used to use, dude. They were goated, bro. I would like, I would just be like, "Hey, mom, can I have a bit of the toothpaste? That shit tastes nice, bro." It's like, but they were goated, man. I swear to Lord.
Dude, mine was the Sparkle toothpaste by Crest, I think. It's like a blue, but it has like glitter and sparkles inside it.
It looked good.
Yeah.
Dude, it's always the blue ones, that looks tasty and shit.
It always is.
Blue anything
The
always looks
blue.
good.
Blue raspberry, blue,
Cocktails.
Blue Gatorade,
Cocktails,
baby.
yeah.
Blue Gatorade. That's
Blue
the best favorite
Gatorade.
flavor.
Yeah. Jolly Rancher. I don't know. Anything.
I've never had a Jolly. I've seen videos of this dude make like cocktails and shit out of like Jolly Ranchers. and
Tipsy
it's always the blue
Bartender?
ones. Yeah, dude, it's that crazy
Yeah.
guy. It's crazy. He always makes these like insane
I
like
love that
alcohol
stuff.
beverages. Yeah, he always uses colorful shit, man. It's always like it's like green, blue, red, and it's.
I like calling those colorful drinks that are like fizzy and, you know, give you a good vibe. I like to call those fun drinks.
I guess
fun.
they are fun drinks.
They're always
though,
they're
'cause,
fun
like,
drinks,
yeah.
alright. Just don't
Like
drink
you
too
never
many.
drink them alone. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure they'll like fuck you up real.
Won't be
like,
much.
real
It won't be
quickly.
fun for much longer if you drink too many of those.
Maybe it might be too much fun.
Do you guys get like hangovers the next day and stuff, or like no? Like
I don't drink, so
oh right, you don't. I'm a person who doesn't get hangovers, to be honest. Like even though I'll feel sick at the night,
I heard
like
that's
the
very
next
lucky.
morning I'll be fine. Yeah, I
I'm
think I
so
am.
jealous.
Do you get hangovers?
I get hangovers like all the time. I've been using
Oh,
like
no.
hydration products. I think like liquid IV is one of them. Like
Right.
after a night of drinking, like I always take like a whole packet of that just to
Oh.
like, avoid the hangover.
Right.
Yeah, I just tough it out. I used to not get hangovers, and I would drink as many sugary drinks as possible. And then I didn't drink for a while, and then I kind of picked it back up when I was older. and started drinking those sugary drinks, and I got hit with just a crashing wave of like reality. I'm like, okay, I'm old, and this fucking hurts so bad. I feel terrible.
Well,
this is why this way to hydrate. You can't you can't risk it. Man.
I know, never again.
Well,
I guess that's a pro for you out there.
Yeah, hangovers they come from people being dehydrated, right?
I heard, yeah, which is
That
why
is
they
one
always
factor of it, yes.
always tell you to drink water when you go drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, but it can't just be water. You also want to have like some electrolytes to go along with it.
Dude, next time you guys get
like
super hungover, I'll just make some haejanguk, which is a Korean like hangover soup.
Oh, dude, soups, man. That's my coping mechanism. The day after I drink. Every day when I wake up after drinking, I'm always like, oh, I want some soup, and I always go out get like chicken and corn soup. I even get pho
soup.
Yeah, those are good too. I really like pho though. Pho is really good.
Pho saved my life on a hangover once. So.
Yeah, it does. It actually does. Like the beefy broth, man.
Is that like your comfort food? Like, imagine you come home from work, you're like really, really beaten up. You're like, oh, I have to stay overtime, and you just want to have a nice meal. What is your like go-to comfort meal?
Sure. That's difficult. I mean, am I eating alone, or like do I get to like eat with a bunch of friends and stuff?
Let's say it's just for you. Well. Just for you.
If it's just alone,
frozen pizza.
What is wrong with you?
Frozen pizza.
Like not even thawed, just frozen, just like.
Well, I mean, you put it in the oven. It's called. But I've had this argument with people where they're like, "Wait, you just eat it frozen?" And I'm like, "It's okay. Of course, I'm going to cook the frozen pizza."
Right.
I
guess if I guess if you grew up as a kid, have frozen pizza being something special, I guess then it'll become your comfort food, right? Without like, well, for me, maybe you guys are gonna laugh at me for this, but it's probably gonna be KFC for me. Like, I'm not even.
Why would I laugh about you?
That's pretty.
That makes more sense than mine.
That's fire.
Like, I want to, it's like. On a tired day and I'm like so done with everything, I just want to grab the junkiest food possible and feel good. It's probably gonna make me feel shit the day after again because it's like not so good. But I still remember
but that's future Axel's problem, right?
Yeah,
like, you
exactly.
Want that relief right now.
Me tomorrow's gonna deal with that shit. Me today want to have some fun. It's just like that mentality. Because I remember we went like, what was it, on a hike or something. On like the highest mountain here in North Elysium. It was like an 6 to 8 hours hike that we did, and like me and my mates, our legs were like jelly, and like we had no food because we were climbing, right? So like first thing we did after we climbed down was we hit the nearest KFC, and man, that was like the juiciest, the nicest KFC I've ever had in my life. And
like freshly fried and everything?
Yeah, and like, cause you're all tired, you're all like about to die, and you just that little bit of protein that you intake from it.
Everybody's like, nice. Yes, energy. How about you, Shinra? What's your comfort food?
Oh my god, it really depends. I think like the comfort food, I guess I would say, would probably just be like Hawaiian barbecue.
You know what? That's fair.
Green barbecue.
I like to get the ones with the fried like chicken katsu with like the dipping sauce.
Oh.
I don't know why, but like Hawaiian macaroni salad is so good. It's like very different from like other types of pasta, but it's the way they cook it.
Hawaiian macaroni salad. I don't think I've had that before. What is it?
I don't think I've had it either. Yeah.
It's like a whole bunch of like regular like macaronis, right? But they instead of like a cheesy kind of sauce, they base it off of like mayonnaise and I think like vinegar. A little bit of tanginess in the vinegar. They have like little bits of carrots inside.
That sounds
so
good.
It's mostly mayo. It's so good.
Okay. Really nice. I can see that.
But like you have like the hot like chicken katsu and then like contrast with like the really crispy and like fresh macaroni salad next to it. Like that combination is just so good.
It cuts the flavor.
Nice.
Man, that's good.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's always nice to have like a dish that cuts the grease and everything and just resets the palate. You know what I'm saying? It's really nice. Yeah.
And you guys have like really, really interesting ones. All I have is like, I like creamy tomato soup.
That's good.
That's respectable.
Though. Soup is good, man.
I just remember like me being in like middle school, and we had those Campbell, cans of soup, and I don't know, there's the one that they had for tomato soup was just so good. Oh, maybe Kraft mac and cheese too.
Oh,
see now I can back you with that.
Listen, it's cheap. It's really easy to make. It's delicious.
it is.
I ate that for like 3.5 years, and only that.
How are you still alive?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I remember I saw like a video on YouTube of freaky eaters of this dude only eating mac and cheese survived for like.
I can't eat it anymore. I literally can't eat it
Did you get
anymore.
like sick and tired of it, or
I'm
like,
so
what?
sick of it. I literally cannot even think about it. It was that and like Campbell's chicken noodle soup, and I was like 23, just eating that for years in my shitty
Oh
apartment.
man. But not even for like the nostalgia factor of like, I want to know what this tastes like again.
I think it would just be like, I mean, it's like it's ingrained, it's like burned into my memory. It's like I know what it tastes. I could just look at the package and be like, I know exactly what that tastes like.
Right. It's like, same with me. When I used to like work at a restaurant before I got into HOLOSTARS, right? Like when I was cooking stuff, like that place, before I worked there, I was like, oh my god, the food here is so nice. I love it. But then like after I worked there for like about 2 years, 3 years, I'm like, I do not want to ever put this in my system.
I go to some like ice cream shops, right? That have that, it smells really, really nice, and there smells like dough, smells like ice cream. But I wonder how it's like to just smell that every single day, and just be like tired of
You
that
gotta
smell.
get sick of
you
it.
get bored of it and sick. Like, let me tell you, bro. Because the place I used to work at was like a burger restaurant, right? And the burgers there were my favorite by far, and like, it's actually like really, really good. Like, I would still say it's like probably the best burgers that I've had.
Like Five Guys level, or even better.
Oh, even dude, I don't actually like
Whoa.
Five Guys. Is like super greasy and it haunts you afterwards, right? The place like I used to work at, it's on the relatively healthy side, but it's actually not like it's got a nice amount of grease as well, but it doesn't haunt you afterwards. Like,
But
like
what if
Five
you want
Guys
that grease to haunt you? Like Five
I
Guys,
mean,
it's
then-
really, really, really greasy. But the reason why it's so greasy is because it's good greasy.
Right. Well, I guess you could go to Five Guys if you want that kind of. I feel like it's just it feels more natural. I guess the place that I used to work at the burgers.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's really good and I loved it there. But then, like I don't know, it just changed. Like I work there, and because I get it as like staff meal, right? Like every week. I'm just there like, fuck, I don't want to eat this anymore. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me when I had my one of my first jobs. I had to eat lunch at Subway almost every single day. And
Oh my God.
I got the same thing every single time. Italian bread, Black Forest ham, lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes, pickles, olives, all that stuff. Light mayonnaise.
You didn't change it up.
Nice. But I that's the thing. I never changed it up.
Right.
It's like the 2 years I
have
worked
to,
there, I
though.
never changed it up. I just every single day.
I'm afraid of change, and I can't. I'm not adventurous at all. So if there's one thing I like, I'm never gonna figure out if there's something I like better because I'm just too afraid to change it.
I
Oh
actually,
my god.
I was actually like you guys, but then I actually had to change because I was so sick and tired of it. Because I used to just get the ordinary burger, and it's just nice. I'll just go with it, and then for about a year, and I got bored of it. So I was like, what can I do? And then I just started making my own shit. I don't follow any recipes or anything. I just started making my own shit. And what I ended up liking the most is because I used to do morning shifts a lot. I used to get a sourdough bread. I just used to toast that, spread some avocado, put 2 slices of tomatoes on it. And I don't like tomatoes, but I just still put it on, and I just salt and pepper it, and I eat it like a little nice toast, like a what do you call those, like. It's like a blat or something, right?
Grilled
like,
cheese or something?
No, I didn't have grilled cheese or bacon on it, but like I had,
Panini?
yeah, like on a panini bread, and then like I had, what do you call it? Avocado and tomatoes.
That actually
salt and
sounds
pepper,
really,
and
really
just-
good.
It's really good and it's healthy, right? I was like, wow, this is healthy as well. I used to have that for breakfast every time, and I used to have like a side of scrambled eggs as well. So,
dude, I don't even eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Like I sometimes I wake up early enough for breakfast, but like the most I have is like a banana. I'm just not very much of a breakfast guy.
No, I feel that.
No, same. Like, I wake up and then I just wait till I'm hungry, and by the time I'm hungry, it's already lunch, you know? And I go eat lunch, yeah.
Like, I get that eating break. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, same for me. Like, I wake up, and then I'll have coffee in the morning, and then that just kind of kills all the appetite. And then I don't feel hungry until well into the afternoon.
I mean, I held the controversial opinion of just, fuck breakfast. I've never seen a point to eating breakfast, and they're always saying how important it is. Oh yeah, well, listen, like, I eat breakfast and then I'm not hungry for lunch, and then I have dinner. It's like, I need to pick and choose. First of all, I need to get up early, which already sucks, and then I need to eat food, which to me is already pain because I'm too tired to eat. I don't want to eat. I don't even want to eat anything. Even as a kid, I didn't eat breakfast.
No, same.
I don't think it did anything for me. Which is just great advice from me.
Well, everybody's like, oh, you got to eat breakfast to have energy for your day. You got to, provide energy to your brain so you can start learning. But that's when you're in school. What if you just play Minecraft for a living, which is kind of what we do? Do you need that brain power?
It makes me more tired. I eat food, because every time I eat something, I get exhausted. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, here's my Eggo waffle.
That's like, don't they call that like insulin spike or something? Because I have it too, man. The other day I had some burger and fries. I came home and I crashed.
Yeah,
I just
I do
died
that
on
too.
bed.
I always do that.
Apparently it's really, really bad. And I only started watching out recently, but you should watch out, bro. Apparently it's called like an insulin crash or insulin spike or whatever, and it's like when the body can't like it is not like functioning well or some shit. My friend told me, he's like, you should watch out, bro. So I was like, oh shit.
So today on the podcast we found out that I may or may not be dying.
Don't worry, it happened to me last week too, so we got two here,
It always
bro.
happens to me, dude. It always happens. I have like a burger and fries with oil and shit, and then I get home and I pass out.
So like what you could try is like cut down on the serving sizes. Like just eat some, and then like like save half of it. Just wait it out. Just see how you feel. See if you have like crash again, and then if you're good, then just go for more. But like. I don't know. I find myself like if I eat too much in a single go, like that contributes to just me crashing.
Oh, really?
It didn't used to happen. Like I used to be able to just eat whatever I wanted, right? But like as I've been getting older, like if I eat too much, I'm like done for a couple of hours.
Well, I have no self-control, first of all. And it's like just the other day, like I'm in the drive-thru and I'm like, okay, I'll get the grilled chicken sandwich and whatever, and then I see, chocolate brownie explosion ice cream
I can
cup.
Understand that, though. I can understand that.
Right? Oh. And I see that.
That's so much sugar.
And they're like, small, regular, or large? And I'm like, large. And then I get a large, and then I just eat that thing before I eat my meal in the car, like on the way home.
I go to McDonald's, and I'm like, oh, I'll get a meal over here, sure. And they're like, oh, what do you want to drink? I'm like, do I really want to drink soda? Oh, strawberry banana smoothie. So I get the largest strawberry banana smoothie, and on the drive back, which is like 5 minutes, I finish the entire thing.
And you feel like death. You feel like death getting out of the car. You make like a right turn, your stomach like sloshes to the left. It's just and you feel disgusting. And every time I do it, like I'm like, what? I feel like death. I'm like, why did I fucking do this to myself?
In the moment, though.
It tastes delicious, and then you finish it, and you're like, fuck. I should have got a small. Should have got a tea or something, a water.
That's interesting. I've always been a water guy since I was a kid, but that's like because I had like this we're broke kind of mentality, because like my mom always used to be like, we don't have much money, this, that, all the time. It's like whenever we go out for dinner or get like takeouts and stuff, my dad would always ask me, be like, hey, do you want to, like, what drink do you want? But I always just be like, I don't need a drink, don't worry about the drink, I'll just get some water.
Oh, that's good. Honestly,
I've been drinking water since I was like a kid.
Oh, you're probably healthy.
Like, yeah, because like my sister, we go out like eat dinner as a family, she would always get like Fanta or Cola and stuff. But I've always been getting. I was like, now just get water.
Dude, Axel's out here like shining. He's sparkling. His skin's clear. You know, his mind is clear. Meanwhile, me and Beto are like, we have flies buzzing off us.
Yeah.
We're like,
I'm trying to figure out if there's water and beer. Because if so, I drink a lot of water, dude. We're good. I think we're on the right path.
Oh my god. No, but like the drinking during the drives and commutes, like I totally feel that. Like you gotta fight, resist.
I feel like this is
Same for,
something
like,
I gotta do
movies.
when I drive. Like, I'm just gonna fall asleep if I don't chew gum or sing or, you know, do something while I'm driving.
I karaoke in my car when I
Oh, me too. I'm always singing.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta get your Spotify, right? And
Yep.
then you gotta like put in the songs that you want to practice for the
Yep.
next karaoke, and then you just belt that out.
That's
on the
exactly
highway.
right.
Because like if you don't, like you got like the soda right next to you, the smoothie right next to you, and you're just idly just like sipping away at it, and like it just adds up over the whole commute.
Yeah, but don't you get a little bit scared of like the people who stop next to you? Like some people are psychopaths and they don't listen to anything while they drive. They just listen to silence, no music, no podcast. National TEMPUS Radio, please listen. They
See,
don't listen to
that happened
anything, and
once, right?
You can probably hear someone through the car like belting because it's so loud, right?
That happened once. I was like belting like Firework, I think, but Katy Perry's Firework. I was like singing that, right? And there was a section where there was like a car accident in the road, right? So like all the cars like came to a standstill, right? And like I was still kind of just vibing and like singing, right? I turned over to the side on my left, right? Because like I was in the middle lane, right? So there's like someone to my left, right? And we just lock eye contact. We just like lock eyes while they're like I'm there just like screaming this song out just in my own little bubble and like nothing's going on, right? So from their point of view, they see me, right? There's this guy just like, you know, stuck in traffic as well. My like eyes are like bulging out because I try to like belt this song. My mouth is like gaping open as I'm screaming and just like locking eyes with this other person who's just trying to get to work, you know? But like you just establish dominance. Just belt that shit out, you know? If they're going to peek on you, that's their problem, you know?
That's true. That's very true.
Exactly.
I understand that to a degree. I don't think I've ever been caught like belting in the car because normally I sing pretty softly. But one thing I like to do is I like taking walks. And during those walks, I like to listen to my music. But I also like to try to sing along a little bit. And there have been times where I just cross paths with someone. I'm listening in my AirPods, like I'm listening to, I don't know, a Keshi song or Joji song. I'm trying to sing it, and then they just like stare at me. They're like, why is he singing to himself? It's just
Dude,
awkward because they can't
that's
hear
their
the music.
problem, though. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's weird. If anybody was doing that, I'd be like, that guy's enjoying life.
I
You
don't
know?
think it's weird when that happens, but it's just awkward when it does happen.
I guess.
It
I
is
mean,
awkward, yeah. It does feel awkward.
You can just think to yourself, they don't know my
I'm
VTuber.
unashamed. Cringe but free is a good way to go by.
Yeah.
Cringe but free.
Oh, I do like that. I do like that. I feel like I try to embody that all the time. Like, kill the part of you that cringes and embrace the part of you that is cringe.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're more free to do a lot more stuff.
I'm still practicing with that.
Yeah.
What do you mean
I mean,
practicing
we
with that?
can't.
You just gotta, I don't know, like after so long, like for me, like I grew up in a time where like just being yourself was kind of looked down upon. Like you kind of had to fit in with the rest of the clique, and like after years of growing up like that, you just kind of have that like built into your mind. So it's been like a long process of like getting over that for myself. But you know, slow, steady, small steps.
Speaking of cliques, what kind of clique were you guys in high school? Like, were you guys jocks? Were you guys
The
nerds?
losers.
Oh.
I was in a weird kind of situation, I would say. Like, how should I say? I was like with the kids who used to just play basketball. But then, like, the kids, like, the baddies, we'll call them, let's just say, the people who, like, vandalize shit and, you know, who does the bad stuff, let's just say, okay? They used to like me a lot. I don't know why. They were like, hey, what up, Axel? Hey, and they used to just, like, talk to me all the time. And I was like, hey, what up, bro? This, that. But yeah, I was in a weird situation. No one like ever really disliked me in high school.
That's good.
I'm glad for it. Yeah, I'm glad for it. Like,
I feel like
I
you're
feel
like one
like-
of those like lovable jocks, you know, that were really, really smart too, but like lovable.
oh no, I'm an idiot, yo.
That's full cap, man. I know you're smart, okay?
Bro. Okay, up to like year 8, I was doing fine. I was like in the top class and stuff, and I peaked. I was like, yo, fuck this shit, man. I started playing basketball only. Yeah. And then ever since then, I never came back, bro. I've always been like that. But hey, I guess that's why I got into HOLOSTARS, though. Thank fuck I peaked back then. Woofed. Would have been a problem if I didn't peak.
How about you, Shinri? I'm kind of curious because I don't know what kind of person you would be in high school.
I was the group with the quiet kids that like really didn't do much. Like we just had our own little corner. We minded our own business, and then like the jocks are doing the jocks, the smart kids are doing the smart kids, and I just kind of stayed. Like there was like this one place that's like a concrete block where there used to be lockers. Like we just sat on that and then just enjoyed our lunches.
That's actually very similar to what I used to do, because my group, we used to play basketball as well, but we used to also hang out with like the quiet girls group. It's so weird because we used to hang out with the quiet girls group, but then the jocks would sometimes want to hang out with us and play basketball with us, right? So we were like in the middle, and we would just like adapt to whatever we wanted to do on that day. But yeah,
I feel like that's just a nice social like circle that you had.
Maybe. But being on the quiet end is definitely like nice as well and fun. Like just sitting down, and we used to play like Clash of Clans and stuff, doing clan wars back then. That was really fun as well. Yeah, just
Dude, my school had a 1 hour lunchtime where you could do like clubs, you can do activities, you can do homework, whatever you wanted during that 1 hour where you had lunch. And I was one of those kids in high school where like I did a lot of sports, right? I did varsity soccer, track, football, tennis, all that kind of stuff. But I also took a lot of AP classes, advanced placement classes. So I was kind of part of both worlds, the nerds and the jocks. But I always never hid the fact that I loved video games. Like I would always sit down in the hallways, at the stairwells, during lunchtime playing Pokemon. We would play Smash Bros. We would found the Smash Bros. Club in high school.
Nice.
right.
That kind of stuff. I'm kind of glad I did that because I'm not afraid of showing who I am now,
No, that's really good. Like doing that early on, like you just feel proud of yourself and what you did, and you look back to it and you're like, glad I didn't, like
the jocks couldn't really make fun of me because they also played Smash Bros. Right?
Yeah. No, surprisingly, like a lot of people and a lot of like time, and I think it's very like generalized that jocks don't do those kind of things, but they had moments being kids where they played games as well, most likely, right?
Dude, nowadays it's cool to be playing video games. Nowadays it's cool to be a nerd.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude, I was in school at the wrong time, apparently, because that was like my group was like, it was like the gamer section, either that or like, I don't know, the kids that couldn't find a table section.
Like what kind of games? Like Halo?
It was mainly Call of Duty back then. It was a bit, and if you were good at Call of Duty, I was good. Like back then I was good.
What happened to you? I'm not joking.
Time, my friend. My reflexes are gone. I can't get a chopper gunner to save my goddamn life anymore. But
I feel that so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you were really good at it, like I was like in with like the senior kids and like the junior kids because I was good at Call of Duty. Which I still consider myself. That's like the loser. I'm a loser because that's not cool.
Okay, but think about it. In some Asian countries, when you're good at League of Legends, when you're like Platinum, Diamond, Masters, Challenger, you're the celebrity at the school.
Well, that's cool now.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
No. Yeah, it's cool now, but like when I was growing up, like the whole idea, like is okay for games, right? Like League of Legends or like StarCraft 2, right? There used to be this huge boom of like people wanting to be professional gamers, right? But like that, like my high school experience was way before that. So like back then, if you played games, if you talked about anime, like they shunned you, they made fun of you, and they would like, if you talked about like translations about animes and manga, they would immediately think, oh, you're like reading hentai, haha. Like that's what the knee-jerk reaction was at my high school. So like we didn't really have that.
Well,
right.
Shinri, I'm just gonna say right now, man, you're in a very comfortable place to be. You have a lot of friends who won't judge you even if you read hentai. I'm not gonna judge you for that. Hey, everybody has their tastes.
Thank God. Thank you.
Wait, what do you mean, Battle?
time
I'm just
to
saying thank
unleash
you.
my
That's
degeneracy.
Just, for being an understanding
Well,
guy.
here's the real question, right? Have you guys read hentai? That's a real
Okay, we should probably not talk about that. Hey, speaking of random things, random fun news flash. I want to do a small section in each of the podcasts where we have a random, news flash that's just fun, lighthearted, doesn't have to do anything with the hard things that's going around in the world. So, I found an article where it's kind of stupid. An extremely overdue book has been returned to the Massachusetts Library 119 years later. Have you boys ever
They must have really liked it.
I guess so, 119.
Was it the Holy Bible? What the hell was it?
Let me check.
Well, they would understand taking that long to read, probably, if it was actually the Bible.
On February 14th, 1904, someone checked out James Clerk Maxwell's An Elementary Treatise on Electricity.
Oh my god.
They had books
I
back
wonder
then?
if they ever learned electricity. After 100 years of reading that book, you must have learned something, right?
There's only so much you can learn from that book, right?
You're going 1 page a day or something.
I wouldn't remember anything after 109 years.
Yeah. Wait. How's this man still alive? No way. Man. It's just
I don't think the actual person who actually
yeah, they
checked
borrowed
it
it is
out,
not
didn't.
alive. So I'm pretty sure he didn't read it, yo. I bet it was just his grandson or some shit clearing out the garage and he just found it.
That's literally what
Maybe.
happened, yeah.
Oh
my God.
well.
Have you guys ever had an overdue book at a library so long that you get anxiety about returning it? You're like, oh, they're going to charge me $100 because I haven't returned it in a couple months.
Here's the thing. I didn't return it and I ran away.
Oh my god.
Yes, sir. But this was a Saturday school. So the Saturday school I used to go to had manga that I could borrow in Japanese, right? And buying manga in Japanese over here is very expensive because of the shipping fees and all that. So
Right.
it costs a lot, right? It costs $15 to $20 for a single comic book over here. And I was as a kid, I didn't have money for that, so I would borrow it. And most of the times I return it. Most of the times, 99% of the times. But then there'll be one time that I just forget, and he just sits there forever. And then I'm just I'm gonna wait till I graduate Saturday school and I'll just keep it, man. Fuck it, yo. And I just kept it.
Aw, do you still have it?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think it's somewhere, but
Okay.
I remember it was a manga of this animation called Doraemon. It's this
Yeah, Doraemon,
blue.
yeah.
That sounds
yeah,
familiar.
yeah. It was a manga of a movie, and I borrowed it.
Aw.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I used to really like it as a kid, and I used to read it all the time, because we didn't. Well, I personally didn't have PC or gadgets to play with other than the Nintendo DS, and I could only play on Saturdays. So on other days, what can I do? Read mangas. That's all I could do for entertainment.
That's fair, because whenever I go to, when I was younger, my brother would get the monthly Shonen Jumps that come in, right?
Yeah.
I would read tiny snippets of Bobo and One Piece and Naruto and Bleach. But the times that I really got to binge read was when I went to a bunch of Barnes and Nobles. A bunch of bookstores.
Mine was Borders.
Borders.
Borders,
And they
yeah.
have
Borders.
specific areas for manga. And I would sit there for hours while my mom looked around at other books. Maybe she would just drop me off there. I would just sit there on the floor, little tiny kid, reading
Yeah.
Naruto Shippuden.
No, I
Dude,
think that
I
was a
remember doing
really good
that.
time though, cause I fucking joke around about not reading, but a lot of people or kids in general nowadays just doesn't read because they've got gadgets and all that, right? I used
They're
to
still reading on gadgets, aren't they? I know people who who browse webtoons and they would read manga just off webtoons, and they would
that's true.
Nowadays, the young kids, they only read on Twitter.
Their telephones.
I feel having the physical copy of manga and book is something that makes it special as well, though. I think it really does.
Oh
Honestly.
no, I definitely agree with that one. There's
Yeah.
it hits different when you're reading the physical
Yeah,
thing in your hands.
Tangibility of it all.
Yeah.
I think I had a
And,
Kindle when I was in high school. And
I
it was
had
nice to
Kindles
read, but it was so hard to read. So I can understand the whole like paperback. Like it's so much better paperback.
It's cooler. I like the idea of books. It's you know, I like the idea. Never done it. I think the only thing I can relate to from like, you know, overdue library stuff, it's like I didn't, you know, bring Spyro back to the Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, bro, dude.
That's a blast from the past. Oh my god.
There was like a Blockbuster right near where I live, and the only reason why I figured out about these animes and stuff like Full Metal Alchemist and all these like other, some close to hentai I would even say, but
and we're back.
okay, really not really. Okay, it was just like one of those harem animes, but you know, as a kid watching those, you know, you'd think it's like one of those stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah, so like my dad would like take me to Blockbusters, and I would be like, I want to watch Full Metal Alchemist, and it's like, okay, and then on the side he would just borrow a bunch of other animes, whatever they had at Blockbusters. I don't know why Blockbusters even had those, but just pick up those, and I would watch them as a kid. That was like the only time I actually used to watch anime was when we used to go to Blockbusters together. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I still remember he borrowed Starship Troopers, and it was like, this is a really cool movie, and I watched it and it traumatized me, bro. That shit traumatized me forever.
Starship Troopers is that's the movie where the aliens like they pierce the brain and then they suck the brains out, right?
Yeah, and they fight
it's
bugs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't sleep at night, bro.
Dude,
like, these dudes went to space and got massicated by bugs.
My dad was watching that in his room when I was super, super young. And there was this one moment, this one scene where like a giant alien just stabs like one of the main characters or something.
Yeah, I think that's like towards the end. It's like, I think that was like the lord or whatever of the bugs. And like he does that to collect their information or something.
Yeah.
My dad told me about it.
Oh my
I
god.
walked into his room, I was like, Dad, blah, 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 blah. What are you watching? He's like, oh, check it out. And I just see a guy's brain being slurped out. I'm like, ah!
Yeah. It's like he was trying to protect the girl he was with or something. I remember that scene, bro. But then right after that, the bugs get captured immediately or something. And there's like a happy ending or whatever. But it was crazy, yeah.
Still traumatizing as a kid.
Yeah, it is. As a kid, you know, like it's something weird to watch, but
I was playing StarCraft by that like around the time when I watched it, so I thought that was the coolest stuff ever. I was like, oh, they turned it into a movie. It's humans fighting bugs. Like I thought that was super cool.
Aww.
Huh.
I've never personally played StarCraft, but I can understand the appeal.
StarCraft either. I'm too young for StarCraft. Maybe I'm just like
young for StarCraft. Oh,
maybe.
When's the StarCraft stream, Shinry?
Nah, I think it's done.
Oh, okay.
There's like a ranked anxiety was a thing back then. I think it still is right now. Even with like other games, I know like Valorant right now is pretty popular, and I know that there is a big group of people who are afraid to play ranked for a variety of reasons. You know, they don't want to, you know, have to face exactly what rank they are, or maybe they don't want to deal with the toxic people who try hard, you know, with the games.
I remember when I first
that.
got to Grandmaster in Overwatch, I was so scared to play anymore because I was like, I finally got it. I don't want to lose it. So
yeah,
that kind of anxiety.
Right.
No, I feel.
I'm still that way with League.
It's really hard to get away.
Can't do it. I'm scared.
See, this is why I exclusively play ARAMs because it's very low stakes.
Good, though. Like ARAMs, you get to like practice everything as well. So
I feel like I can play so many new champions because of ARAMs because it's all random. You can get random characters, random stuff. I played so many. I don't think I'd ever played Udyr in my life because I'm a very like 80 carry, like high damage, low health.
Mm-hmm.
So playing Udyr, I was like, this is so powerful. I can just walk into the enemies and they can't even attack me.
My favorite character is Maokai. Maokai Jungle is by far my favorite. No, the reason why, hear me out. Bro, you get free wards. Like, it's insane how much map control you get using that one guy. Because, like, you know in low, like, what do you call it? Like, in low elos, like, only the support wards. Like, no one else buys pink wards and wards bushes. It's so rare to see. And that's when Maokai is so useful, because your jungle, you want to, you know, try to get as much info as possible, right? And, like, you just walk around putting your saplings down.
I would have thought you wanted someone more like more spicy, more like energetic, like I don't know, Master Yi or Silas or
I actually like Silas going mid lane, but like I don't like playing lanes when I'm playing solo. If I'm like playing with friends, like if it's like Flex or something, yeah, I'll like to play lanes. But like the reason why I play jungle is because like I can control the game more. Like, and I know playing at that elo, it's like so tough. Like, if I see a top lane Garen that's going 0-5, then I know, okay, I'm just gonna help out the other lanes. You know, I'm just not gonna look at that guy. And I'll try to be nice to him. You know, it's like, okay, you know, just build. What do you call it? What was the item? Hole breaker, just so he can do that link. Just keep side pushing, just like
like doing damage to the towers.
Yeah. I was just like, you're pretty much useless in team fights. Just like go hit turrets and shit. Like, you know, it's just like, and jungle gets most of the flame anyways. Like even though people
jungle
like,
diff.
Like these dudes are going 0-5, getting solo boloed in their lanes, and it's like it's because the jungle didn't come help me. It's like, well,
playing the full ranked matches of League of Legends, it's very fun. Don't get me wrong, but like, what if you just don't want to think? What if? That's why I play a lot of ARAMs and TFT, because you don't really need to think.
I play.
You can just go into rank.
ARAMs and yeah.
If you ask me.
Oh no.
These teammates aren't thinking either.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh no. It's like that meme is like, oh, thank God I'm the normal one.
Everybody's thinking that.
Oh God. Okay, but if I were to like say like my favorite champion that I would love to play is like maybe Silas. Silas is like stealing people's abilities is fun, right? It's like really, really fun. Yeah.
It changes how you play every single matchup.
Exactly, yeah. It's like you can what do you call it? Min-max your skills like to like the absolute peak, yeah, using that guy.
So I would love to continue this conversation, but we're about running up to the 1 hour 30 mark. So before we end the podcast, I do want to do a small little section where we have viewer questions. Now I picked 2 viewer questions. They submitted in the comments of my YouTube and on Twitter. If you guys want to use the hashtag National TEMPUS Radio. You could ask serious questions. You can ask for advice, life advice, relationship advice, gaming advice, anything. Or you could just have a silly question. For example, one of the questions that I picked out from the wonderful Toodles, thank you very much, Toodles, is in what situation is a fart not funny?
Never.
Like even if you're at a funeral.
I was literally thinking if there's a fart at a funeral, it's still funny.
Like they're like, oh,
it might be funnier.
Yeah, it's gonna always be funny. I still remember, like, oh, dude, this one time my friend took a fart. Like, we like it was when we were climbing the mountain, and
wait, did you say took a fart? Like, I'm imagining like picking it up and just carrying it.
No. He just leaked it, you know, without like telling anyone, and he kept a cool face, you know. He was just, and you know, the silent ones are the deadliest ones, right?
Oh yeah.
And my mate ran into that waft of air, and he started and it was so lethal. He started puking on the fucking mountain. And
what?
Yeah.
Is this the same guy that doesn't leave his house?
Close.
They're
pretty similar. Yeah, very similar. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah. Those two actually had beef once before on, like, debating who's the better one at Among Us. So, hey, you see, like, you know, why they're so stupid,
I understand,
right?
gotcha.
Like, yeah.
But, like, imagine going to, like, a funeral for, like, a family member or something, and your extended family are all there crying. They're like, I miss him. He left too soon. And then while the priest is, like, talking about, oh, I hope he goes to heaven and stuff, you just hear,
I think it would lighten the mood. I still think that would be funny. What if the priest farted?
Yeah. Even better. Even
you
better.
know, it's like.
Did he apologize?
I know the thing is, like, even for a funeral though, like, you don't want it to be that sad, right? Like, I'd rather have it be like a moment of celebrating, and like if farting does help alleviate some of the tension and that like gloom that overhangs everything, and just be like, hey, you should be celebrating these moments, you know? And like, it shouldn't be this sad.
I hope someone farts at my funeral.
That's true.
I got you.
Pinky promise. Yeah, we'll be there.
If I'm gone next month, like
squires, let's like make
21 we'll coordinate.
They line up.
We all like synchronize our watches as we enter the proceedings, and we like take our positions like strategically spaced out around the crowd.
It echoes the best. Which part of the church echoes the best for the viewers?
Which part has the best airway so it can bring the waft all over the room?
Like you just go in, like you like do sound test. You'd be like, all right, this place has like the most echoes.
The acoustics of the.
The acoustics.
I'm gonna have the garlickiest hot pot before that fucking day. I'm gonna kill everyone in the radius, bro.
There'll be another funeral.
This one's for you.
To kill somebody.
So I'm guessing that what we're getting out of this is that there's no situation that a fart's not funny, right? Like even if you're getting mugged or something, like give me all your money, you're just like You know, that's funny.
Yeah, if like I mean, I guess it would be like not fun. Like if there's a different emotion overtaking me, like let's say fear, but like I don't know, because it's still like, okay, let's say there's like a roller coaster and someone like farts out of fear. I just start laughing. Then I'm not scared anymore. I think it overpowers anything.
What if it's
Unless
like
I'm like at gunpoint
or something? Like, hey, so the quarterly results were going down slightly. What do you think that we can do? Would you just keep on talking? Would you just ignore that?
Whatever we were talking up to that point is already gone out of my head at the time before. So I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah,
There
I lost
he
all the
goes.
information.
Yeah, what were we talking about again? Just gonna come back to that, bro.
I mean, I'll turn it around, and like the best place for a fart to happen is a place where you can't laugh. Like in a library or somewhere serious, or like in a classroom, because if you were to start laughing, it would disrupt everything. So you're holding it in, and that to me makes the game of like the fart itself even funnier, because I can't get found out now.
Dude, that brings me back to when I took my SATs, my standardized tests.
Oh no, did you?
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't
during
me.
the.
But
Okay.
I was taking my test, right? I was doing the English portion, and you know we're doing our essays and everything, and suddenly you just hear. But it's from the room that we did testing was in a huge like basketball court, like a gymnasium area.
Holy
And it
shit!
just like echoed all over, but like nobody could tell where it came from except for the people that were like right next to him. But they didn't snitch. They didn't say anything about it. So I still to this day don't know who farted. And I knew everybody in that room.
Maybe it'll be one of the great mysteries that we'll never find out.
I guess so, yeah. But we do have a second question. Thank you very much, Zia, for submitting your question. And just again, if you guys want to submit your questions that you want to ask, either use the Twitter hashtag National TEMPUS Radio or put it on the comments of this YouTube video. It'd be really cool to get some cool questions. But this question is, if you could be any fantasy magical race, which would you choose?
Oh, that's a difficult one.
I think for me,
I
like being suave. I like being classy. I would love to be a high elf.
You did like Viera from Final Fantasy as well, didn't you? That's like close to like elf, eh?
Yeah, like I just like being classy. I just like, not being too dirty, too messy. And I feel like that kind of aesthetic, I would really enjoy just lounging around,
Any race, right? Any fantasy games. Oh god, this is a difficult one.
So
Man.
it's like like elf and dwarf and like tiefling and orc and gnome. Dude, see, I'm always like default. I like dark elves a lot.
Ooh.
But I think for me, it's like just the idea of any elf, because not only are you just the most beautiful creature to grace the fantasy world,
right?
You're always beautiful, and you're also just like immortal,
right?
And talented. It's like, what, I want to be a fucking, a gnome for what? No, I want, I could be this beautiful, immortal, skilled whatever.
Oh no, I guess I'll just cry all my problems away with my handsome face.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they like, I can't think of like an elf that like has any issues. They always got it together. I would love that. Such a far cry from what I am now.
Hey man, I can be a high elf. You can be a dark elf. I think it'd work pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I think for me, like anything that's like generally known to be like tanky.
Ooh.
Like I'm down with that. Like I'm it feels a lot easier to like pick classes than it is to pick a
I would say
race.
so too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
Like anything that's tanky is able to like, you know, control like just with your presence, even like on the field. Like that's what I really like.
Well, the reason why I wanted to ask magical race instead of class is because we technically already have classes in, you know, our guild. For example, I'm the hero class. I'm the person who has a gun saber that can change from a pistol to a saber at any point. So I'm like a very versatile short to medium range character. And like Shinri, what do you have? You have a...
I have a bow. I don't know if it fits my build, but
Hey,
you got a bow.
you can shoot that bow super powerfully. I've seen you in that animation.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just like firing off tree logs.
Kind of what playing Hanzo in 2017 was like.
Right? The hitbox of those was massive. Oh my god.
But magical race, fantasy race.
I think I want to be like, if I were like to be like a different like race from like the game, like maybe like a black mage, you know, but like a traditional black mage. It's not like, you know, a human just wearing a black mage's like robe and like hat and all that, but you know, like, how should I'll like
What kind
put
of
a
creature
photo.
are you underneath the hood?
I don't
Are
know
you just
what
like
kind
an
of creature
amalgamation
they
of energy,
are.
or
I'll put it in the boys like chat
Okay,
if you
yeah.
want to have a look. It kind of looks like this, like, you know.
oh, from like
It's
Final
not human,
Fantasy.
right? Yeah, it's not human.
Oh.
But it's not like a creature or anything. Like what is
They
this?
look
It's
like little
is this like a
Jawas?
yeah?
Jawas, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like
I mean,
complete
I
core.
just some kind of like
It's like
Shadow
mysterious
entity
figure.
underneath the hat.
yeah, with like glowing eyes. It looks cool, you know. It looks cute and cool. So yeah, I want to be one of these dudes.
Okay.
Maybe.
I wonder what that race
Yeah.
is called.
I don't know. They're just called black mages. Like, I feel like it kind of shifted, right? Like black mages back in the day, I feel like were kind of like this in a lot of games, but then they transitioned that to like being more like a role. So like any like race can become a black mage now. Like a human can do it, an elf can become one, and all, you know. So like, yeah, it kind of transitioned because.
Oh, dude, black mages are they're man-sized magical dolls, mass-produced as weapons of war, according to Final Fantasy IX.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
dolls
that's
are
from
cool.
And-
yeah, I want to be a doll. Yeah, let's go.
Dude, that
apparently
sounds
created from
terrifying.
mist. They're created from mist to
Yeah.
be a soulless magical arm of their master.
Yeah,
That sounds
that's like
pretty cool.
that's specifically for 9 though. Like if you play 9, there's like this whole lore about the 9 like Final Fantasy 9 like black magicians. But yeah, I do feel like they are like a doll or like golems because
Yeah,
I've
golem,
played a
that's a
lot of
good one,
games.
golem.
Yeah, golem. I think golems. Yeah, maybe a golem. Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to be like a soulless, trapped, like
Yeah,
messenger
well,
of war.
that's- Let's
That's
go,
every day,
man.
man.
I'm down, bro. Like, oh, no. That took a really dark. I mean, hey. Well,
It sounds like a great time.
yeah, but I mean, like, one of the games I played, my Oshi is kind of like a doll, and the reason why I like her so much is because of how soulless she is. But like, you know, going on a journey with the main protagonist, she starts learning what emotion is and like starts acquiring, you know, that is something I do like. So maybe, yeah, a golem or a doll myself is something I would want. Yeah.
Okay. Shinru, have you thought about it?
It's nice.
Like, do you want to be like a orc or a dwarf or something more defensive?
I'm just
Magbot.
gonna pick like Magbot. I think I'm just gonna pick like the cop out answer. Just pick a human. Like,
Okay.
in terms of races, I don't know. I think like it's really cool, but I would fall into the whole like being unable to commit because I think something is cool. Because you like there are like pros and cons to everything, and like it really depends on the situation. So I think just being like run of the mill, middle average human would be like the most versatile.
Okay.
So I think that would be the best way for me to go.
Dude, don't believe the hype on being a human.
We gotta eat. We gotta go to school. You know, we have to
Gotta sleep.
gotta go to the restroom. Sorry, we're idols. We don't need to go to the restroom. Yeah, humans are pretty fragile, but at the same time, I've seen like big humans. I've seen what they can do. They can definitely be tanky. Like Braum from League of Legends.
That dude ain't human.
I like that.
That guy ain't human, yo.
He's a
I'm
man.
telling
He's
you
like
that.
half Poro. He's half Poro, man.
Poro.
But maybe like that kind of character who has a huge shield. Maybe?
God, I would love that. I would love that so much.
All right, I think that was a pretty cool conversation about that. Thank you, Zia.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I think we're going to be wrapping up the podcast now. So thank you guys so much for watching. How do you guys feel about that first episode?
Ah, it's fun.
Oh, it's fun.
I
Yeah,
liked
went
it.
by fast.
Yeah.
Now, these three may not be on next week's episode. We'll see. I do want to keep the cast of this rotating. I'll be here every single week. If Axel wanted to be every week, sure, we could do that. If Beto wanted to join, sure, we can do that. If Shinri wanted to join, no, I'm joking.
Oi.
But it was a lot of fun chatting with you guys. It's been about like an hour and a half, and I feel pretty good about that. I was really nervous before this.
Yeah.
I think the
No,
first,
this will
first
be smooth.
episode, first episode, we're always there nervous about everything we do at the start, but we'll get used to it, and that was very fun. So thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks for
It's
having
fun. And like as with each episode, it'll feel more and more concise, and I think things will fall into place more and more. But
Oh yeah, we only talked about food for 45 minutes.
well, that's normal.
That's just an average Tempest boys conversation talking about
It
food.
seriously is. It's always
Just wait
food.
till next week.
We're going to talk about more food. But thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, consider subscribing on YouTube. I will be posting on my personal channel, Regis Altare channel. This will also be distributed on Spotify and Apple Podcast. So if you guys want to head over there, if you're listening on those, consider following and consider downloading the podcast so you can listen to it on your, daily commute. Maybe you don't have any internet because you're traveling. Consider downloading and following. So, also, other updates will be on Twitter. On Twitter at Regis Altare. Since I'm the host, I'll be posting most of the news for it. And before we end, I just want to give a special shout out to my YouTube Tier 4 YouTube members, the Cultare Royalty. I just want to give a special thank you because, they support the podcast by, spending a little extra each month, and it's a little bit of extra love that's very, very appreciated for both editing and, all the assets that we got to put together. So thank you to RNA, Kismet Nightingale, Meka, Maria, Monstro, Fee, and Sen. Thank you guys so much for the Tier 4 members. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and before we end, is there anything that you boys would like to, shill or talk about?
No.
No.
No, not really.
I think that's a wrap. Thank you guys for joining the National TEMPUS Radio. We'll catch you guys next week on Monday. See you guys later. Bye.
See
Bye.
ya.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.